Dad was an alcoholic, caused lots of verbal fights between Mum and Dad. I was a okay kid at home and an okay kid at school, but outside of that, I was this person who was on drugs and was sleeping around, and we were at my friend's house. She was having this party that night. I don't even know why I wanted pee, but I did, and I knew that if I spoke to these two guys that they had it and that they would give it to me. And so I got into a truck with them. These guys were probably 40 or 45 years old. They were meth addicts, and I didn't know them from a bar of salt. I don't know what it was. You know, like looking back now, I feel like God was just so over that situation where those guys could have done anything. Like there was no one knew where I was, no one knew that I was with them, and yeah. So I guess looking back now and knowing that God had his hand over me, even though I didn't know him fully then, is just a huge sigh of relief. Mum got to the point where she needed to go out and deal with something for herself. She met this lady through her work, and she invited her along to church, and through that my mum came to know God. My sister was now in university. Through uni she met a girl, and this person asked her to church. She had been going to church over these past 2 years, and I had seen the changes in her, and I guess it almost made it worse. It made me want to rebel even more. It was kind of me and Dad, I think we were kind of like the last two in our family. And then my sister started asking me every weekend, do you want to come to church with me? And one weekend I turned around to her and I said, if I go with you this one time, will you stop asking me? And she said yes. And so I went, and then I haven't stopped going since. When I walked into those doors at church, that was half of that, you know, feeling of being home, was walking in and going far out, like what is this, that you feel whole, and that's God. And that feeling is what brought me back, that unconditional love that I felt. By that stage it was Dad had given his life to God as well. All of a sudden we're this family who all know God and all love God, and he's such a huge part of our lives. And Dad has been sober now for 13.5 years. I guess if there was one thing that I could say is that if there is someone that you are praying for, or if there is someone that you are thinking about that you think's too far down that track, you never know what is going to happen, and God has got them. And just don't stop.